human speech sounds can be divided into two broad categories, vowels and consonants. Though this is very easy to mention that there are vowels and consonants, but this is a bit difficult to scientifically prove that how vowels are different than consonants. Vowels and consonants are divided on the basis of mainly, traditionally, one is the obstruction. It is said about vowels that when vowels are pronounced, there is no obstruction from larynx to the lips, right? This is how it has been mentioned traditionally. And it is said about consonants that when they are pronounced, there is some kind of obstruction at some place within oral cavity, right? From larynx to lips. Okay, but as I mentioned, that this is very difficult to prove that this obstruction is always audible, and this is provable. Like for example, in words like way and hey, the first consonants in these two words, that's very difficult to prove that there is some sort of obstruction. Okay, but this is one criteria and a main difference between vowels and consonant. But there are so many other types of differences which can be made between the two sounds, vowels and consonants, and the one is distribution. Distribution, like which sound can take at which place of the word. Like if you want to start a word of English with H, right? So we can predict that which sound is going to follow H. Like for example, in the word hen, we know that there would be a vowel after H consonant, okay? And this is also like a possibility within words like B. When a word is starting from B, we know that there would be a vowel after B, right? So this is distribution. And on the basis of distribution, we can claim that there are certain sounds which take place the certain part of the word, right? Like for example, a vowel would always be at the nucleus of the word, right? And there would be some sort of consonant in the beginning at onset level, and there may be some sort of vowel at the end, which is coda, right? So the distribution of sounds can also tell us that which sound is taking place at which part of the word, right? There is one more way, and that is experimentation. With the help of software, thanks to Prath, and although there are some more software, okay, so we can make an experiment, and we can prove that vowels are different than consonants, right? One hint that I can give right now is that vowels are the most sonorous sounds. There is maximum voicing. And later in this course, when we'll do some experiments with the help of Prath, then we'll come to know that there is a clear-cut difference between consonants and vowels, right? But the point is that speech sounds can be, at broader level, divided into two categories, vowels and consonants. All right. Vowels can be further divided into various categories, and that difference is made on the basis of tongue height, okay, right? That at which position is your tongue when you pronounce a specific vowel, all right? If you can make a difference between E sound as in C, like the English word see, right? And then A sound, like in the word cat, A sound, all right? So if you want to pronounce them together, like E, A, so you would come to know that within E sound, the tongue is very close to your roof of the mouth, your palate, right? But in the case of A, the sound which is taking place in cat, right? So that sound is taking your tongue open, right? And it is like away from your roof of the mouth. And in this case, this difference can be easily made. All right. So the first difference which differentiate vowels is the height of the tongue. And then there is another point, which is the part of the tongue. All right? The part of the tongue is that whether your tongue from which part of the tongue you are pronouncing the word. Is it the front part of the tongue or the center or the back? Right? Like, for example, E versus U sound, like in C and pool, woo. E, U. So you can see that there is a difference of the part of the tongue. In E, it is the front part, and the U, it is the back part. And there is one more criterion which is used for differentiating among vowels, and that is the lip rounding. There are three possible positions for lips: rounded lips, or spread, or neutral, right? So we can also think about lip rounding, right? And apart from these three criteria, we can also differentiate among vowels in terms of length. There are short vowels, there are long vowels, right? And then there is one standard way to differentiate among vowels, and this is called cardinal vowel. It's a quadrilateral, right, which can tell us about the position of vowels. So later we will discuss this cardinal vowel system, and we'll describe vowels with the help of these cardinal vowel system. And then there is a difference between vowels and diphthongs also. Diphthongs are basically glides in which there is movement, and the movement is from one vowel to the other, right? And diphthongs can further be divided into two broad categories: English diphthongs. I'm talking about English diphthongs, right? So there are closing diphthongs and there are centering diphthongs. We will discuss them later. And there are consonants, right? So like the broader categories, vowels and consonants. Consonants can be described in terms of the place of articulation, right? And then manners of articulation. And the third criterion which is used for the distinguishing of consonant is voicing. That what is the position of larynx? Whether it is voicing or voiceless, right? What is the position of larynx? It is narrowed or open. So these are the criteria to distinguish among consonants.